Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on New Zealand Sports Radio. It's the 1st of January. Yes, Friday the 1st of January. So happy New Year, everybody. And you may hear some fireworks in the background, even though it is 7 o'clock in the morning. We've just had some fireworks going off here in Waihi. I hope you all had a happy and safe celebration of the end of 2020. In the news this morning, we'll have a chat about the cricket with Super Smash action on yesterday, and Kane Williamson has moved up the Test batting rankings. We'll also bring up speed with action in the A-League, and also a player who will be missing for the Phoenix in their opening game. There's been action also in the NBA as well, and a first for women coaches in the NBA. The ANBL also sees the Breakers having to relocate here in due to COVID as well. And hi, Will from Chicago. It's not even New Year yet for you, or not even, you're still in 2020. You're still living in the past. Here in New Zealand, we live in the future. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's get straight on into it with the ANBL and the New Zealand Breakers and also the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix will be relocating, or are relocating from Melbourne to Tasmania due to the due to the risk of COVID outbreaks in Melbourne. So they will both be traveling there to train ahead of the season in strict COVID quarantine. They're also looking at trying to move the Sydney Kings and the Hawks, who have already moved to Albany, out of Sydney. And they were looking at trying to relocate them as well. The other Melbourne team, Melbourne United, is currently in Cairns, where they have got pre-season games against the Taipans this weekend. So all steps being taken by the ANBL to try and avoid any COVID disruption to their league. Well, it's also been disrupted, but try to keep the games going ahead. Over in the NBA, and Greg Popovich was ejected from the game after entering the court and making comments after a foul he didn't believe was called correctly. As he did leave the game, Becky Hammon became the first woman to lead an NBA team. She's been with them with the Spurs since the 2014 as an assistant coach. So look, she knows her way around the team, and congratulations to her being the first woman to lead an NBA team. Unfortunately for her, it didn't turn out well as far as the scoreline goes, with the Lakers beating the Spurs 121 to 107. The NBA season keeps on going. There were 6 games yesterday. There are another 7 today, and the Thunder will be taking on the Pelicans at 2 p.m. New Zealand time. If you want to catch Steve Adams in action in that one. Moving on to the cricket, and it was Super Smash action yesterday with the Auckland Hearts taking on the Central Hinds and the Central Stags taking on the Auckland Aces. That's in the women's game. First up, Auckland Hearts went in to bat first and scored 158 with the down batting through the innings for her 63 off 64 balls. The innings was given a bit of a supercharge by Peterson with 41 off just 22 balls there as they reached 158. Both wickets were taken by Watkin for in her 4 overs. So yes, 158 off just loss of 2 wickets. Central Hinds made a decent stab at chasing the total, but kept on losing wickets. Kelly, with 4 wickets for 28, led the bowling for Auckland. And Rowe, with 44 off 46 balls in the middle of the innings, was the best of the Central Highlands batsmen, but they scored 150 in there for 8 wickets in their 20 overs, coming up, falling 9 runs short of winning that game. So congratulations to the Auckland Hearts in that one. That was followed by the Central Stags against the Auckland Aces, and the Central Stags scored 226 for 8 off their 20 overs. Worker at the top of the innings scored 79 off just 46 balls, and Clarkson scored 78 off 31 balls in the middle of the innings there. Those are the two main contributors to the total. Somerville and Lister had control, both of them, just allowing 21 runs off their 4 overs. Somerville taking 2 wickets and Lister 3, but the rest of the bowlers really were hit around the ground. Pringle, for example, going for nearly 19 runs and over. In their chase of that, Auckland Aces were never really in the reckoning, scoring just 156 off their all out of 18.4 overs. Top scoring was Phillips with 42 runs off 22 balls. But that big total meant that the batsmen were going for it, and most of the batsmen were out for single figures. And that meant that Central Stags were able to use 8 bowlers in their with Leopard, for example, taking 2 wickets off his single over for just a loss of 4 runs. So a good win there for the Central Stags over the Auckland Aces. Looking at the table then, that means that on the women's side of things, Wellington Blades at top of the table with their 2 wins from 2 games still. The Wellington Firebirds, also with 2 wins from 2 games, are leading the men's table as well. Kane Williamson has gone top of the ICC Test batting rankings, overtaking Steve Smith and Virat Kohli. So congratulations to him. Was last topped the rankings in 2015. So having a very in some very good form, currently leading the Black Caps. There is news that Israel Adesanya is set to face Jan Blachowicz for the light heavyweight crown in UFC 259 that will be held on March the 7th, New Zealand time, March the 6th, in a local time for that one. And that will obviously be on probably be a pay-per-view over here. So an impressive win there. And looks like he's moving up a weight after defending his middleweight title to fight at the light heavyweight weight. So it's going to be a move up there and taking on a champion as well. So that's going to be a cracking matchup in the UFC in March. And now you have started. Also in the A League and W League, they have finally been unbundled from Football Australia 3 years after FIFA came in and separated a war, a bit of a disagreement between the clubs and the administrators there, and finally this gives the clubs control over their own destinies for the first time. And let's be honest, with COVID and TV rights being a big issue at the moment, it'll be good to uncouple the professional game from the amateur game there in Australia. So congratulations. It's good to see those sort of things all sorted out eventually. Also over in the bowls, and in the lawn bowls, that is. And even with COVID keeping international players away, there has been an increase of 20% compared to last season for the men's singles into the New Zealand Bowls World Championships. So New Zealand Bowls Championships, not World Championships, New Zealand Bowls Championships. The women's field is up 10% on 2 years, but slightly down on last season. So good to see, at least on the men's side, the increase in people entering the competition in bowls. As I know, it's a sport that has obviously a reputation of being for older people, but is one that's definitely reinventing itself at the moment. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all the important sports news. If you haven't had New Year yet and are still living in 2020, please have a safe New Year's Eve and have fun. For those of us here in New Zealand, welcome to 2021, and hopefully you have a wonderful year. Don't forget, we'll be here at 7 a.m. every single morning, helping you start your day the best way, up to speed with the important sports news.